When you travel the world for a year, you see and experience so much, and we want to share our daily travels with you. Unfortunately, a hard drive failure means we have to tell the middle a little bit differently. So, welcome to Storytime with the Happy Hoppies in this edition of The Lost Episodes.
Alright, so after the crazy night that we had last night, packed up, we're on our way off to explore some more Star Wars sets. So the first stop is Anakin Skywalker's house.
Yeah.
Basically the three things that we're going to see today are all like granary type things, all stuff again from Tatooine, or the planet of Tatooine in Star Wars. But this first one, they say, is Anakin Skywalker's home. So this one was like right in the middle of the city. It's kind of cool. You got to like drive up, park, and then just walk around, and there's vendors in there. There's plenty of people there, so that was pretty chill. We were very relaxed. Got to see the stuff, take a few pictures, and then continued on.
Yeah, and then we drove a little bit further south, and we got to Tataouine.
The actual town of Tataouine, so it's not just a planet in Star Wars, it's actually a city in Tunisia.
Right.
Pretty cool.
And so, I think it was on like the top of a hill almost, wasn't it?
So
we like drive like up,
we drove
up.
like through, or like, yeah, we drove through the town of Tataouine, a little bit further south to the outskirts, and then up on this little hill where these other granaries were. And those were the most picturesque granaries.
They were, yeah.
So those were the best pictures, but it was starting to get a little bit spooky at that point. People all of a sudden were looking at us like, what are you doing here?
Right.
Because it was advised not to go too far south. And I had looked, and like we weren't quite to the southern part that they said stay away from, because there was a certain line that on travel.state.gov that they said shouldn't go to. And we weren't to that line yet, but we were getting close. And all of a sudden, you kind of tell by people's reactions, like, why are you here? Like, you probably shouldn't be here. And all of a sudden, the smiles were disappearing. Like, people were looking at us and they weren't smiling back.
Yeah, I didn't really mention that actually when we had our really long day of driving in the second day in Tunisia. We were greeted by smiles pretty much like everywhere we went, and sometimes waves, too. Everyone was just so friendly. But the further south we got, we realized that the smiles were just kind of stopping, and especially there in Tataouine, as we went up top on that hilltop and went inside to the granaries. We walked by these group of guys that were, I think, playing like checkers or some kind of like board game, and they were smoking some pipes, and they were just looking at us like, what are you doing here? Like, I mean, it was a long stare. We're like, I don't feel comfortable here. Let's just take some pictures and leave.
So we took off, and then on the way back, we saw what looked like a military truck. I wasn't sure, but it looked like there might be like some military dudes in the back. So I just kind of slowed down a little bit to hang back so I didn't get like too close in case it was, and we weren't supposed to be, I don't know. Anyway, just keep a little distance. And then eventually, we got on past that area. But then we continued on to a third spot.
Yeah, which wasn't too far from Tatooine. Like, honestly, I don't know why we didn't just, like, book it up north. Because in the north part, we felt completely safe.
Yeah, but at this point, we're like, oh, well, we're close to this other spot, and it's going back north a little bit, so let's just stop at one more spot. So we went on to, what was it called?
Zar Hadada?
Hotel Qasar Hadada.
Yeah.
Something. So it's this other, like, granary spot.
That was, like, the coolest one that we did visit.
It was set up to have tourists go through. We actually saw somebody that kind of showed us around a little bit and was telling us about the history of how like the Berbers like lived in these and what they did and all that stuff. So it was somewhat educational. I mean, on the little bit of communication that we could get back and forth.
The guy also there was like a little like petting zoo. There was like, what was it, like a porcupine thing? And then there was like some like strange like animals you wouldn't normally see in like a petting zoo. Like they had like that huge like falcon thing.
And then he had a camel, it was like right in the middle of like where you walk, so you had to like kind of walk past it and hoping you get spit on or bit or something.
Right. And there was at least like one other like tourists there. It really wasn't that busy, but I still felt like more safe there than we had back in Tataouine.
Yeah.
But like we also at that point weren't really wanting to explore much. We were kind of just like after what had happened the previous night and not sleeping at all.
And what had just shook us up a little bit in Tataouine, at this point, we're just like, okay, let's see it and keep moving kind of thing. Let's just see it quickly and move on.
Yeah, we just got to get north. The smiles have faded here. And at this point, we had been thinking we would probably, book a modest hotel. But at this point, we're like, no, I am booking a 4-star hotel tonight, okay? After what just happened last night, I need to feel safe.
We didn't get a whole lot of sleep. We needed to be able to sleep and feel like we can fall asleep and not be on the edge of our seats, like keeping watch.
And so we pretty much just like drove the rest of the day. On the drive, something really funny that we saw, it was, we haven't really said this, like as we were driving like the small towns, like you would see people that were selling like camel meat. And they would have like a camel head hanging outside of their place of business, so they sell camel there. And then sometimes you would see the same thing like with cow. Well, there is this one spot that we were driving by that had a cow head hanging, and in the snout of the cow head was a hook with a camel head. So it was like both hanging. It was just like, what? I'll never forget that image. That was just kind of like so interesting. Like, yes, we sell this meat here. Here's the head. Anyway, so we continued to north. We got to the town of Sousse. And we stayed at, what was the name of it? Hang on, I wrote it down. And we stayed at Bellevue Park. And it was $56 for the night at this 4-star resort. And it was gorgeous. That included dinner, breakfast, and the hotel, and oh my goodness.
It was amazing.
So worth it. And this one even had higher security than the previous 4-star hotel we had been at in Madia.
So you drove up and there's this big gate, so you couldn't just drive into the hotel parking lot. You had to stop at this guard shack. Then they had a couple guards walk out. You show them your ID, your reservation. They had like the mirrors and little metal detectors, walk around your car and inspect things. Also, we had to even like put our bags through like a security scanner when we got there. And I just remember being so happy. I had never been happier to put my bag through a security scanner. I just felt so safe there. We finally knew we could relax. Yeah, this was actually in the same resort complex, like right across the street from where the terrorist attack had happened. We had mentioned briefly a couple of videos ago. Yeah,
when I talked about it when we were in Madia, that was incorrect. I apologize. The terrorist attack had happened actually in Sousse. And so this hotel that we were at was like only like 2 hotels away from where that terrorist attack had happened.
Yeah, that did happen, but Tunisia as a whole, like the government and military, the way they've responded was really good. Like they responded very hard, cracking down on it. And they were trying to get everything cleaned up and secure so they could attract the tourism again. So it was one of those things where something bad happened, they beefed up security like crazy to prevent it from happening again.
There's been terrorist attacks in the US, in the UK, in Paris.
We have all kinds of shootings in schools and all over the place.
Right, and we still travel around, Paris and UK and all that. So why not go to Tunisia too? And so definitely. Don't go to the south part.
Do your research. I mean, times change too. I mean, like depending on when you're watching this video.
Exactly.
I mean, do the research and the time. Be smart. Look up reviews. But it was an amazing place. Like we loved it. Everybody there was out of the way friendly. Partly because we were American, we were white, and they could tell we were, stood out. So anyway, it was one of those things where you almost felt bad, like they were treating us so differently.
So nicely. It was,
like out of your way, crazy nice, but we were pampered for sure. We felt spoiled.
Remember our waiter?
Yeah, so,
it was so nice.
We went, it was a buffet, but then, they brought drinks to you.
I think I had some like different soda that I hadn't tried before, like that was I don't know, it was just really good. And they are very attentive to your drinks.
And he's very professional. I mean, he was
Yeah.
asking like how long we're there for. He was asking like what we were, why we were visiting and all this stuff and where we were from. I mean, it felt like we were on a cruise. Like this
Yes.
was the level of hospitality. Like if you've
Yeah.
ever been on a cruise, you know how over the top, like friendly and just, they're trying to get to know you, get to know your name.
Yep.
Just spend a little bit while you're there, which is crazy because the number of people that these guys are seeing over the year, whether it's on the cruise ship or at this resort.
Yep.
But the fact that they learn your name and then remember all these little details about you,
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's amazing.
And so when we told him that we were only there for one night, he's like,
yeah.
just one night?
He's
Because
like, people come for like, a couple weeks or
A week,
month,
2
but
weeks,
like
a month.
one night, like, what is this?
Yeah.
We're like, oh no, yeah, this is awesome. We should come back and spend longer, but no, that's all we're here for this time.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll come back and spend longer later.
Yeah, and so, we left him, I remember we left him a tip because he was just so out of his way,
He's
like
awesome.
friendly and awesome. And
The food for the buffet was absolutely fantastic too.
Yeah.
Like so many different things. It was so good. Very, very good quality.
yeah. And then there was like a book of like excursions you could take and book through the hotel, and like because you're right along the beach, and so one of them was like taking a horse ride on the beach, and Peter really wanted to do that, and we were kind of looked at the time, and we could have done it possibly the next morning, but we chose not to, so we'll have to go back and get your ride on the beach there.
The hotel was beautiful too.
Oh, yeah.
So it's unlike the other hotel that we had stayed at before, further north along the coast. This one was very busy, lots of other tourists there, lots of stuff happening, lots of amazing decorations too, because it's getting close to Christmas at this point.
Yeah.
So they had like a Christmas tree, a Santa Claus, a gingerbread house, all this cool stuff. It was awesome.
It was really awesome, and yeah, everyone there was so friendly. I remember when we went out and we walked along like the pool area. They had like a little bar there. You could get cocktails and things like that. And the guys like came out because I was filming and vlogging, and he said, "What's your YouTube?"
Oh
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah.
And I told him our YouTube channel. So if you're watching, hello. Yes, I'm finally getting around to filming this episode. But yeah, and I don't have that footage, unfortunately, because I think he even said hello in it and stuff. But
I might, yeah.
anyways, we don't have it.
But it was amazing.
Yes.
Awesome resort. Definitely a beautiful stay. We loved our time there, and yeah, maybe we'll be back sometime.
That would be awesome. All right, so we will see you in the next video as we wrap up our time in Tunisia. See ya.